Hi, I'm Nicholeen Peck, and I teach parenting and good communications all over the world through the lens of the principle self-government. And in this video, we're talking about showing compassion when someone is jealous. In this video, we're talking about jealousy and what to do to help a person who is experiencing jealousy. So let's talk about jealousy. Jealousy is a human condition that can happen to anybody. It's a feeling that everybody can experience. Some people will say things like, I have FOMO, fear of missing out on something. What they're saying is someone's having an experience that I'm not having, and I want to have that experience. In our world where we have a lot of affluence, people can buy things instantly online, have them delivered to their doorstep. We just have to ask for help, and help is almost always provided. Sometimes we start thinking that everything should come easier for us, and that if one person goes on a trip, then we all should be able to go on that same trip or get that same item that somebody else has. Because of our societal shift toward everybody having everything somewhat similar to each other, this can increase a person's tendency to experience jealousy. Also, when parents dote on their children and make sure that the children have everything they need, they don't have to suffer or sacrifice, then a child might learn to expect certain things that another friend has that maybe they don't have yet. This can also lead to a feeling of jealousy. So is jealousy a bad feeling or a wrong feeling? Well, it can be a prideful feeling. When you experience jealousy, sometimes you are also experiencing entitlement. Entitlement is a prideful feeling where you feel like you expect to get certain things because somebody else is too. So jealousy can be one of those feelings that can trap us, make us feel negative, lead us into depressive feelings, or even encourage us to ruin our communications with other people by communicating in ways that maybe are somewhat confrontational, emotional, or even unkind. So, is jealousy a problem? Well, it can be. It can be a trap for any of us. However, jealousy can also just be one of those normal things that a person experiences, and when they overcome it, they're better for it. Sometimes a person notices that someone else gets to do something or have something that they don't get to have or do themselves. In these circumstances, it is the perfect opportunity to recognize that I do want something, but I get to experience what I call in the teaching self-government language a no answer, and that's okay. Accepting a no answer builds character and empowers a person. So when a person gets the opportunity to experience a little bit of jealousy and then deal with it in an appropriate way, that person can end up becoming stronger because of it. Now, when a person experiences jealousy, whether it's a prideful kind of jealousy that's leading them down the wrong path, or whether it's a type of jealousy that's going to lead them to more empowerment, the way that you handle it makes a difference. It's important to show understanding and compassion when a person is experiencing jealousy, but don't coddle. That's the important thing. When a person is experiencing jealousy, we don't want them to think that that feeling is what they need to give into or cater to. Instead, we want to help them recognize the feeling, recognize also that they are understood and cared about, but then help them see the way forward. So how do we do that? So we're going to talk about how to help a person forward and how to help them process their jealousy in a way that understands your compassion for them. But before we do, click that subscribe button now. This channel is for you. It is to help you find answers to the situations that you might be facing in your relationships. And every single video on this channel relates to self-government, which is freedom. So click subscribe now. So let's talk about compassion. What does it really mean to show compassion to another person? Well, when someone is experiencing a feeling and you are a compassionate person, then that means that you acknowledge that, yeah, this might be hard. You might be struggling with this feeling. So compassion is a way of showing understanding and caring for another person. Now, when a person is experiencing jealousy, it can be tempting for somebody to say, stop being so jealous. You don't get everything all the time. Stop being so selfish. But that's really not a great way to help a person come out of selfishness. In fact, it could take them deeper into selfishness because you aren't showing the compassion that they need at that time. So a better way would be to acknowledge what the person is feeling and making sure that you look at them with love and concern. So there's something called quality components that I usually talk about with other people, where I express that when you are talking with another person and you really want them to know that you care, make sure you look in their eyes. Make sure that you really see the value inside the other person. Maybe even touch them on the shoulder. When my children were little, I used to touch them on the sides of their face. And that would show them, I'm here, I'm listening, I am ready to understand you. It also sometimes showed them that I needed them to understand me as well. But it created sometimes an actual physical connection. This shows compassion even if you have to direct a person past a negative behavior or a feeling that could leave them in a non-productive direction, such as the feeling jealousy. So look at them. Show kindness. Check your voice tone. Maybe put your hand on their shoulder and then say, I know it's hard and it feels like you're missing something when someone gets to do something that you don't get to do. But it's not always a bad thing. Let's talk about what to do. So then you might explain to the person about something that I mentioned earlier called no answers. So I teach parenting all over the world, and the principles that I teach in parenting are principles, which means they are broadly applicable. So whether you are parenting someone or just trying to help a person with FOMO, then this is a skill you're going to want to maybe try to teach. It's actually taught in this children's book, Porter Earns a Quarter. The skill is accepting a no answer and accepting criticism. There are 4 steps to the skill accepting a no answer. Those 4 steps are: look at the person or the situation, keep a calm face, voice, and body, say okay or ask to disagree appropriately, and then drop the subject. That means don't think about it, don't talk about it anymore, just move on. So what does that skill look like when a person has jealousy? So when a person is experiencing jealousy, they look at the situation. Someone has something that they don't have. Someone got some attention that they aren't getting. They're looking at that situation. They keep a calm face, voice, and body. And then they either say, okay, it's all right that that person gets attention right now and I don't get attention. Or if they feel like they should also get attention or get whatever that thing is, then they can disagree appropriately. And that's a whole other skill. So disagreeing appropriately is a calm and effective manner of letting a person know that you understand them, but that you would like to be understood too. Then, after the person has either decided, it's okay, I can be okay with them getting attention right now. I don't have to have attention every time everybody else does. Then I drop the subject. That means I don't talk about it anymore and I move on with my life. That can be the hardest part of experiencing jealousy. So if I were showing compassion to a person who was having jealousy, I would tell them that I understood it's hard when somebody gets to do something that I don't get to do too, and maybe that I've experienced that before myself. And then I would explain to them the steps of accepting a no answer and how it is possible to drop the subject so long as you teach your brain how to move on. So how do you teach your brain how to move on? Our brains get stuck so easily in the same processing patterns. So when a person is experiencing jealousy, they might start thinking something like, nobody cares about me, I don't get that too, or nobody's telling me I did a good job and I tried too. They might start thinking thoughts that are depressive thoughts or sometimes even self-loathing thoughts just because they're not getting something that somebody else gets. So what you want to do is expose those thoughts. Maybe say something like, I know that when someone gets to do something that we don't get to do, sometimes we can think a thought that's something non-productive, like they don't care about me as much as they care about this other person. But those thoughts aren't true. What we need to focus on is what is true. Maybe even ask ourselves a question. What is true that I'm not considering? Well, it might be true that that other person needs a little extra attention right now, or that other person needs to have an opportunity to use that object, whatever it might be, and that it's okay, that we can choose to be okay when we don't get to have a turn to have attention or use that object right at the same time. Learning how to accept a no answer is empowering. It teaches a person to find the truth that they didn't see before. And if you point a person in that direction, that is the ultimate compassionate thing that you can do, so that they don't get stuck in patterns of jealousy in the future. So if you really want to help a person with jealousy, teach them a skill that they need for success. And that accepting a no answer skill is just one of the many self-government skills that I teach. If you would like to find more out about the skills I teach for self-government, then I highly recommend the next video that you watch here on this channel is a full-length class. It's called The Not So Known Secret to Parenting Success. Click on the link to that video now. I'll see you there.